Hello everybody and welcome to the full walkthrough of our new marker for Creators Companion app. I'm gonna walk you through every menu step. I'm gonna walk you through the 50-second default workflow. And yeah, we're gonna start. By the way, I'm obviously using the marker for Creators app myself while recording this video because I'm not gonna rewatch the whole thing. I'm gonna show you a quick demo workflow. Let's say you're on a shoot. We're shooting our time of day session and yeah, recording some video, maybe, creating some markers. Here, let's create another video with another marker, in and out marker. And maybe we can attach a comment to it, to the previous marker. So we tap the left button there. Okay, so we're gonna stop the recording here. And we are stopping the session on the iPhone. And as you can see, it's been instantly synced to the companion app. So what you do is you take out your SD card. I'm gonna turn on my camera. And I'm gonna plug it into my MacBook. And we're doing this live, okay? No cuts, no fancy speed up or something. It's like real time. So you see the app is searching something or it's doing something there. And oops, Final Cut Pro just opened itself up. So now it detected the SD card. And after some seconds, the button looks pretty clickable to me, right? So we're gonna press play. And our DaVinci Resolve is minimized, but it imported the session into DaVinci Resolve with just one click. The markers are placed onto the video so you can move them around. And even better, let me show you another demo. I can show an even better feature. So this alone, the markers, will save you hours of editing. It saves me hours of editing, but it's getting better. So what we're now able to do, and which only is possible because of the new companion app, is we can create timelines while filming. Okay, so this is crazy. Imagine you're in a shoot, for example here. Today we're shooting four reels and one BTS video. So what we're going to do is we're activating our timeline 1. Let's say we're shooting stuff for reel 1 right now. So I'm gonna hold it into the camera so you'll be able to see it later. We can mark a moment. The app also displays you the current active timeline. So there's that. Yeah, maybe when we're shooting another clip for reel 1. Then we're continuing, let's say 2 hours passed, we made some videos. Then we're starting to shoot timeline 2. Okay, so our videos for timeline 2. Also, we can set some markers here. Great. Maybe we want to shoot our Tim Cook interview. So there's that. Obviously, as always, creating some markers there as well. And oh no, we forgot something for reel 1. So we're shooting reel 1 again, and we're creating a blue in-out marker. Okay, we're creating a blue in-out marker on reel 1 again. We're stopping our session. It's been instantly synced to our MacBook. I'm gonna take the SD card, plug it in, real time as always. And the session is already synced to the companion app, as you can see here. And as you can see, it displays 3 timelines. By the way, as it's loading, you can open up your sessions and you can, don't annoy me, Final Cut, and you can edit the session. So you can see your markers, you can edit your markers, you can change your colors, you can change the marker name, you can change the node. So just for you to know, this is the marker name, this is the node. And you can add markers or you can remove markers. You can see which clips it auto-detected. So the companion app is, our approach to automate almost everything possible. So it automatically detects which clips on your drive go to which session. We're going into that later a bit more. It also auto detects your settings. You can change them here. It auto detected those settings from your footage, so you don't have to worry about that as well. And yeah, so here's our session with our timelines, our timeline feature. We're gonna open it up as well. And it's loading, it's opening itself up. And as you can see, it already pre-built our timelines. I imagine that you're on an 8-hour shoot with, I don't know, 10 ads or 10 social media reels, or for whatever you like. I bet you have some ideas already. And it automatically created your timeline. So you don't have to note down which clips go into what timeline. It does that automatically for you while you're filming. And this is a huge time saver for me as well. And as you can see, in reality it was like recorded like that or something, but you have the whole session here, and you always have the timeline session with all the clips. As you can see, the blue marker and out marker we recorded at the last, as last, my English. And yeah, it automatically filled your project. This works for DaVinci, Premiere, and Final Cut Pro. And I didn't tell you that you can now convert your sessions. So you can convert to Premiere Pro. It will automatically switch or map the colors to the Premiere Pro native colors. You can press play and it will automatically open the project in Premiere Pro. Also, the markers are fixed onto your footage. And yes, it's the same. And also Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro only supports purple colors. You can see in a second why. So press play and it's instantly imported. So there's that. Also, as you move the clips around, your markers are attached. All right, that's the main feature of the app. That's how it works. I'm gonna go in depth with you now, and yeah, gonna show you the whole menus and the settings. But usually, yeah, that's it for you. And yeah, if you want to go more in depth with me, let's go. All right, the auto detection should work pretty good on most devices. The auto detection of the footage will learn over time where you're storing your videos, and it will get faster over time. Okay, so it could be that in the beginning it's taking a little bit longer. What you can do is you can drag and drop your footage or folders or even higher hierarchy folders into the sidebar. And what the app will do is it will prioritize, or it will look in those folders at first to find matching footage. So you can speed up your detection by that. For the detection to work, you have to have a correct time code in your videos. So in the companion app, there are many tutorials on how to set up your camera's time code. Here, how to set up your camera, and you can search for your camera model and see how to set up time code. So that's essential. And also what's important is that you have the correct date in your video files. What if your date metadata, or if you forgot to set your date, or how do you manually import your footage? It's as easy as that. Just drag and drop your footage onto your markers. This will override the date metadata, the date information of your video files, and we'll just use the time code. So for example, here, this isn't the correct footage for that session, so it's gonna tell me there's a mismatch here. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. But that's how you can manually import your sessions. This should always work. The only case it won't work is if your time code's off. But yeah, it's not possible without time code anyways. Just a little insert from editing. I've noticed I forgot to mention one big feature. So usually you don't work on your SD card, right? Maybe you work on your internal SSD or on an external SSD. So here is my SD card, and I've copied over the footage to my internal storage. And what the app does, it automatically detects that you have two sources available. So you can switch between sources here, and here you can see, you can also open it up. You can see what source is currently selected if you open up your project. And this is the SD card, and this is my internal path. And what the app will do, so you can press play now, and the app will learn that you are usually working from this directory. So if it gets both paths, it will learn to use your external SSD or whatever, but you can also manually switch them here. The dot menu, here you can delete your session, you can reset your session to the default. You have to double click to confirm. As we see now, it's back to DaVinci Resolve. You can also share your sessions. So if you want to collaborate with someone, you can export your marker project. It gives you a marker file you can share with others, which they can drag and drop into the sidebar, and then they will have your project. Or you can export an EDL file. An EDL file, for example, for DaVinci Resolve is here a marker file. If you know what an EDL file is, there's the option. If you don't know what it is, you don't have to care. By the way, it's just a bit messy. You can also select single timelines and open them up separately as well, if you want to do that. All right. You can right click, you can select multiple and share or delete them. And that's that. Just one thing. If you have, let's say, let's look if we have the sample project here. Here, by the way, it also supports rec run sessions. So in rec run sessions, you drop your video files, just your one video here. Rec run sessions are manually synced. I don't know if it auto detected that video. Let's look again. And yeah, you can just drag and drop your video in there. I think I deleted that video. And yeah, let me look for a second if we have. Yeah, for example, this is a great example. So we just learned that you can drag and drop your video files to manually sync, right? So this is a test session of mine. As you can see, day 1 and day 2. If your marker session goes beyond or goes into the next day, it will create a new segment. And I'm gonna show it to you. So it will create a second timeline for the second day if you want that. And in this case, the day metadata is wrong. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So the auto detection, as you just saw, I dragged this folder here, and it auto detected that those files go to this project. Because as you can see, it only filled the videos for day 1. Day 2, it says that there were no matching videos found for those markers. So sometimes you create markers which are, sometimes you may create a marker which when no video is running, so the warning is no problem. But in this case, it's most likely that the videos are missing. Here you can see where your videos are. By the way, it also kind of supports multicam. So as you can see here, it detected 2 cameras. So we have 2 cameras here. And yeah, it detected that. You can see which clips belong to which camera. And we can see that only day 1 is imported. This is a test project. So I'm going to show you. I know that the second part of the folder, the date, is wrong. So what I can do is I can drag and drop. I can overwrite the day information of the videos. I can drag it here. It says it's reading the video information. And I know that the videos belong to this. So I can click on attach anyway. And then I'm going to, I know those 2 are also on day 2 here. So I can overwrite that as well. Yeah, that's how you manually import. And now all the videos are imported manually on a 2-day shoot with multicam support. So I'm gonna press open in Premiere Pro. By the way, Premiere Pro will always import into the open project, just so you know. And here's the multicam layout. So it will create a time. It will create, yeah, as you can see, every camera gets its own line. I don't know. My English is not that good. But yeah, as you can see, it imported all the videos. We just manually, linked. And yeah, that's that. That's the maybe one step more advanced thing. Let's go to settings. I'm going to show you what the settings do. So you should be obviously logged in. You can also manually use the app if you don't want to log in. For now, it will be changing in the future. But yeah, you have footage folders. That's the only normal use or setting. Here you can prioritize different directories. And you don't have to prioritize. So your auto detection will speed up if you set a prioritizing folder. You don't have to do that. It should be usually pretty fast natively, but you can if you want. So what you can do is, for example, I have a demo workspace here. Let's say here are your clients, here are your projects for every client, and every client has an export and an import order. The import order is the only important relevant one. So here are your videos, okay? And what you don't want to do is you don't want to choose your import folder. You don't want to choose your project folder. You don't want to choose your client folder. You want to choose your clients folder, okay? That's good enough. That's fast enough. So I would choose that, for example, and then it will find my footage pretty fast, okay? You don't have to set it manually for every project. That's only limiting and manual work for you. What you also can and should do is you can exclude folders. So for example, if you have a time machine backup or something attached to your computer, it would only make sense, or something, some big file stuff which you 100% won't use for videos, you can add it here. So it, won't search there. And yeah, that's the default setting stuff. Then here's the advanced settings. I'm gonna walk you through it, and I'm gonna explain what every setting does, okay? All right. DaVinci Resolve has a studio and a free option. So what that does, it should automatically detect that, but you should set this to the version you have. The studio version supports the one-click import I just showed you. The free version doesn't. So the free version has a limitation. It's from, I can't change anything about it, sadly. It's a limitation from Blackmagic, where you have to kind of accept the import. I can show you how this works. So let's set it to, I have set it to free. It also explains it here for you. So you can press play, and you have to go to workspace and scripts and go allow marker companion import. And then it will import. It doesn't make sense because we already imported the session, but then it will import your session, okay? Then you have a setting here, Open DaVinci Resolve session in new project or current project. So it will create a new project for you when you open your sessions, or you can load multiple sessions into one project. Then we have the option to keep the time of day layout. So maybe some of you would like to have your video clips laid out the time they were shot. So here you can see the time code, and those videos, they were shot at that time with those gaps in between of them. So you can have your time laid out as you shot the videos. And you can also, you have the option to keep markers on timeline. So what this does, it will create the markers and set them onto the timeline level. The thing here is you can move the clips around, but the markers will stay on the timeline level, obviously. Both of those options are also available for Premiere Pro. They're exactly the same. Keep time of day layout on Final Cut Pro is also exactly the same. And Final Cut Pro has the option to use markers instead of subtitles. So what this is in Final Cut Pro, we decided to use, let me show you. Oh wait, we decided to use subtitles as markers because you can see the marker content pretty easy when scrubbing through your project. Let's imagine this is much smaller, and you can see what's the content of the marker, which in a normal Final Cut Pro marker is not the case. So here are the normal markers. So on hovering, you don't see what's inside them. Clicking them once doesn't give you anything. You have to double click, and then you have this small window. So if your comment is longer, you won't be able to read it. Yeah, I just don't like the markers, but you can enable it here if you want. So yeah, there's that. Then we have the option multi-day sessions, separate timelines per shooting day. So if you let me look. We had a multiple day session, right? Or I'm gonna explain it to you. So if you're let's say you have session 12 and it goes over, you had it running for 3 days, you can if you have a multi-day shoot, keep it running overnight. It's no problem. By the way, the Marker for Creators app won't stop your session, okay? So you can restart your iPhone, the session keeps running. So your files, you don't have to be scared about the app crashing, or I don't know, your phone dying of battery. No problem, you can keep it running. Just for your information, it will stop your session after 5 days of no interaction. So if you keep it running for 5 days without tapping anything, it will stop the session. But if you use it for 10 days every day, it's gonna stay running. So with this, you can, let's say session 12 is a multi-day session. you can press on play, and it will create your timeline with all your clips from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, laid out like that in one timeline. Okay, so if you enable separate timelines per shooting day, it will generate separate timelines for every shooting day. So not like that here, but you get day 1, day 2, day 3. Okay, so you can enable and disable it here. Auto sync, here you can disable or enable the automatic file scanning. And as you can see, you can, like we did it before, drag and drop your files here or here. It's the same to manually sync your files. Then here's the session cleanup. I think many of us, or you should test the app before you use it. So, for example, I have many unused projects, and it will automatically delete those after 90 days, or you can delete them right now. So yeah, there's that. Then here are session defaults. So usually the app the app always auto detects your settings from your footage. But if you want, you can override that here and set the settings. Maybe you always like to shoot square at 60 FPS or something. I don't know. Yeah, then you can override that here. Then we have review mode, and I'm using it right now to hide my email. So if you want to, would be cool. If you want to make a review about the app, you can do it in privacy. It also syncs that with your iPhone app, so your iPhone app has that mode as well. And then here you can enable the beta updates. I wouldn't recommend it if you aren't in the iOS beta. So if you are a beta tester for the iOS app, you should enable that. If you are not, don't enable it. They're unstable, or there could be issues. Spotlight not indexing. It's because my Spotlight is deactivated, so I can dismiss that. And that's it. Here you can, by the way, check for updates. So if there are any updates available, you will see you can update the app here. And this should be pretty interesting or pretty nice for you. You can ask me or the community everything you want about the companion app in our companion or in our Marker for Creators Discord. So there you can have direct contact with me. You can ask me anything. You can give feature suggestions, and that's it. That's the Marker for Creators one-click editing workflow. I hope you don't have any more questions. By the way, I forgot to mention, we have a changelog here, which links you to the Marker for Creators docs. So documentation, it's work in progress. It's not linked anywhere yet, except there, because it's not ready yet. But maybe if you're interested about the little details, you can go through this too. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment or a message or whatever. If you want to support the app or the mission, you can always send over some behind the scenes footage of you using the app or the companion. Maybe do a review on YouTube or something, or on social media. It would help the app a lot. And also your feedback means the world to me. So I have heard the sentence, feedback is the breakfast for champions. And I want this app to be a champion and so successful. I dreamed of this app for many years and now realized it. So it's kind of like my little baby. And you appreciating it is awesome. On all your comments, it's super nice and super fun to work on that. So thanks for watching, and happy editing.